Hi, this is Linda Yang, and this is my overview video of the final course project for Statistical Computing 36650. So first, I will start with my code, the files that I used to do this application, as well as uh, where I stored the data and interacting with the application on the cluster and Hadoop. So first, everything is ran from the main.py file. So with this main function, we have the user inputs. Um, when you first run Python 3 main.py, you'll have welcome to my workout program. How many frequent words would you like to see? If the user selects 3, we should see the top 3 most frequent words. We'll select a method if they want to use a large algorithm or the small algorithm. The large algorithm is the MapReduce Hadoop command process, and the small algorithm is one that I created. The file is the directory input, which specifies which input file to use for the algorithm, whether that be the small or the large algorithm. And then for the large algorithm, I specify an output file for the Hadoop command call. And then the top end will be shown. Um, so here I configure the user inputs, and depending on which method they use, I call if they select the small method, I will call the small underscore algorithm.py file, and I will process the data in my data.py file. So first, let me go into the data.py file where I process the data. How I structured this is in an OOP design, in which I have a class data and I have attributes, the file name and the words in that file in a list. So when I first call the constructor, I will have to input the directory or the file name, and then I'll call the read underscore file method to read the file and to split each word and save it into a list. So the output of read.file should be a list. So first I'll take the input file, call the data constructor on that file, read the file, and then I will have a list of all the words in that file. Then I will call top n, which is in my small underscore algorithm file. So the design of this file is in a functional programming design. So I have the toLower function, which is used to lower every input. I have a function called remove stop words, where I have a list of stop words here. I got this list of stop words through inputs that I felt that didn't need to appear and that were quite common, such as a and the, this, where, when, why. In addition to other words I found online through the NLTK package. So the remove stop words function removes the stop words in the input file, and then the top end returns the top end most common words. And here I used the counter and was able to do the most common function through the counter package. So back in the small main.py, after I read in the file, format the file, I will call top n, and that will be my output. And then I will, for each item and amount in the output, I will just return that, and that will be my top n. Output is then in a dictionary format. Next, if they decide to select the large algorithm, I have saved a command script here for the Hadoop call. So sorry, this is quite long, but here it is. So I'll take the user input for the top n. I will specify the output file as well as the input directory file. And then I will call subprocess command. This function is from the small algorithm um, file where I just print out the subprocess.get output. So that's how I'm running the command through this application, through the subprocess get output function in the subprocess package. So from there, I can collect the results, get merge, and then print out the output of the cat collected results when this part is ran in the cluster. So just diving a little bit deeper into my test functions a little bit, I was able to test all the functions in my small dot algo algorithm. So the subprocess command, the to lower function, the remove stop words, the top n. I was able to test the methods in my data class. So the data as well as the file read. I was able to test mapper and reducer by formatting the mapper and reducer files a little bit so that I was able to create inputs and outputs just to make sure that they're returning the right thing. So in my mapper function, the goal of the mapper function was to read in each word in the input file, remove stop words, and to save the word and the count in a dictionary. Sort the dictionary and return just the top n. So that is what's going on here. Similarly, in the reducer, I wanted to do the same process. Only return the top n from the output of the mapper. So here I am also reading each line of the input file from the mapper and saving the counts in the dictionary, storing the dictionary, and only returning the top n of those counts in the dictionary. And through that mapper then reducer process, I'm able to return the top n for the large algorithm. Okay, so now we can transfer over to my GCP cluster. So ignore this, I ran it before. But first, let me just show you how I loaded all the files in. So let me just go to the cluster itself. So in the cluster, I have my main.py, I have the mapper.py, I have the reducer.py, the small algorithm py file, which is in the functional programming design. And then I have, I have the data file, which is the UPI design. And then as you can see, I have all the files here saved in the cluster for the small algorithm. So a user can select any of these files to call the small algorithm on. Now let me go to what is in Hadoop. So in Hadoop, I have the data file. And in that data file, we have all of these. So let me see if I can go into it just to show you all the files. Yep, so these are all the files that are in Hadoop right now. These are all, so to call the large algorithm, I just call the data and all of these files will be processed and we can see the top n counts for across all of these files. So first, let me run the main.py file, which is how we enter the application. So Python 3 main.py. So first, it will ask you, how many most frequent words would you like to see? Let's say I want to see the top 10. Would you like to perform the large algorithm or the small algorithm? I will first perform the small algorithm. Which file would you like to see? So I'm gonna do the last file here, winter stale. Sorry, not. So the file that's used in the small algorithm is the file saved in the cluster. So I'll do winter stale. So I'll just type in winter stale. So my output file, this is more specific to the Hadoop call, but I'll just specify output. And here we can see the top 3 counts, the top 10 counts for the winter stale file. Okay. Next, I will call main.py again for to see the top n counts for the large file or the large algorithm. So here, so site 10, would you like to perform the large algorithm? Yes, I'll do large. Which file directory would you like to see? And I'll do all of them. So that would include all the files here. Okay, specify output file name, and I'll just do output. And we will wait. So here we can see that our the MapReduce command was called from the main.py file. So we can see the MapReduce process being performed here. We can see the call being performed on Hadoop. This is the output. We saved it on the output file that we specified here, output directory. Then the get merge cat collected results is also run after this step. And from here, we can see the top n most common words in the entire data folder. So thank you. That is my course project final. Yep.